Got on, cunts! Welcome to the 14th episode of the Zombies Workshop podcast. Joined by Xela, who's now a permanent guest or a co-host. So, in the future fucking podcasts, he won't be in the titles or thumbnails because he's just part of the podcast now. So, we're joined by Pieman, Hex, and Jbird, the three motherfucking cunts working on Leviathan.
Thank you.
I mean, that's our official title, so.
The
three musketeers.
Yes.
I like that better, the three motherfucking cunts.
I mean, that's basically how I introduce anyone.
Does that mean we're gonna get like a chocolate bar and everything?
That costs money.
Yeah.
You have to pay for that. So, why the fuck are you doing Leviathan in Black Ops 3?
Do you have to ask that?
Yes.
I mean...
Should we tell them the real reason how this got started?
All right.
Like, the real reason is pretty funny.
Yeah, let's kick this off with a good laugh. So this kind of happened back in like right before April, because I came to Radimax about this funny idea of making an April Fool's Day joke, and we were literally gonna make a Leviathan box map, and it
like
was
the first room.
It was literally just gonna be one room, and it was gonna just have a whole bunch of like trolley shit in it, and we're gonna like release it on April Fool's Day.
Or have it like the full, like as if it's the full map and shit.
Yeah. Like we were gonna release it like
the
it's
first room.
Yeah, and we literally did the entire thing in time, and it was already done, ready to be played. But then the moment that I had got to that point it was just me and Rady at that time, because we were just doing the starting room, and I was like, holy shit, I can't remember how much fun I've like been missing out on, because me and Pi have actually disappeared for a bit from the modding scene, if you guys haven't.
Oh yeah,
didn't you delete your mod tools, Jbird?
Yeah, I formatted my computer.
I think we've all deleted it at some point.
Pi deleted his too.
I deleted it once on purpose and then deleted it a second time on accident, and the second time was kind of tragic.
Wait a minute.
Really cool
was the
things.
second time when we were making the swan and you just stopped talking to me?
Yep, that's exactly when that was.
I was like in the middle of making the damn map, and then he just disappears.
I just disappeared.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
But yeah, so me and Rady originally just started it off as a joke, and the moment that like I finished it, I was like, you know what? I'm having too much fun doing this. I just want to keep going. And that was the point when I was just like, you know what? I need to get Hex and Pi back in on this, because obviously, like, it was the four of us that made the original. Like, we put blood, sweat, and tears into that map. This was like a full year project.
Oh,
so,
and the amount of just to interject something, the amount of workarounds that thing running on World at War
without
ridiculous.
T7, right?
Yeah.
Or wait, was it T4M? T4M.
No, before those days.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
So sorry, Jay, but you were saying.
Yeah, I was just saying that like I tried to get Hex and Pi on after it was this April Fool's Day joke, and I tried easing them into it because I had a feeling that they wouldn't jump on board like right away, just like a full on, hey guys, let's make a full on massive ass map again. So I was just like, hey, do you guys want to join in on this April Fool's Day joke with me and Rady? And so originally I just was like, hey Pi, do you want to make those leapers from the original and get Hex in on some of the mapping as well? And then just slowly and surely I just kind of was like, you know what, hey guys, we're making the full map.
Yeah, by the way, we're not doing a 1 month map, we're doing a whole year map.
Yeah, I totally just pulled the rug from under them when I was just like, you know what, yeah, we're making the full thing.
I've never had the displeasure of working in World at War Radiant, so I don't know any of the limits or anything with that.
Honestly, it's actually kind of fun.
Yeah, it's like mapping with your hands tied behind your back.
I started mapping on BO3 and I tried out World at War tools, and like it's the same thing, just
just a scaled down
just with
version
limits.
of it. Yeah.
Plus
Like,
it's way smoother than BO3.
Some of the biggest issues we ran into on World at War were obviously G-spawn. Like that's a very prominent one in
I have a pretty
custom maps.
Well, I'm gonna say funny, but like none of these are that funny because it's just about like coding. But you know,
You
it's
should
an
tell it. I
interesting
know what you're
story.
talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? The doors. thing with the doors?
Well, I was actually thinking more about what you did with G-Spawn intentionally.
Oh yeah, there's two things.
Okay.
So if anyone enabled cheats, I just spawned a bunch of entities and G-spawned the map. After all, yeah, there were so many different.
hilarious anti-cheat thing that would just crash somebody's game, and they're just like, "Oh, the map's broken," but it was.
Oh, you tried to cheat.
Yeah, we wouldn't tell them they were cheating. We were just like, "Oh no, the map's it's kaput. You
But
gotta
then-
deal with it. You just crapped it out."
Yeah. And then in the fight against G-spawn, because we would just get it from like a million different things, like if you did too many things before round 10 or something. Like I remember you turned on the power and it just broke. So what I did is I removed all the doors in the map and then spawned them dynamically as the player runs around. So at any point, most of the time there are no viable doors existing in the map. When you walk up to the door, then it spawns in, and that really helped because there was a ton of entities that got rid of.
Mhm. We also hit the vert limit as well. Mainly because we had so many patches in the map. Because we didn't do a lot of things with models back then. I guess the biggest thing was the tunnels. Like those things ate up like a lot of the vertices.
What about the whole vista?
Those were I think like Black Ops 2 models, maybe like mountains from like Black Ops 2.
Really?
Yeah, they were.
We did do like a bit of terrain, like connecting everything together and whatnot. But like that was like a lot of it. Like once you start getting outside the map, it's pretty low poly terrain work. But like the big issue was definitely the tunnels, because everything in the tunnels was patches, and we had like railings going through all the tunnels, and they were super dense with vertices. So that was when we started having to come up with these kind of techniques where we would export the map geometry as an FBX file, and we would import it into like Blender and Maya, and then re-import the exact same like geometry as a model. And then like we had to do all these crazy things just to get the map to work, but we were so focused on trying to make it not use T4M. And for those of you who don't know what T4M is, it was a kind of like a mod made by our friend Michael, or Did You Know I Pwn? And it basically just removed a lot of the limits, but it also added a bunch of weird bugs to the game, like meshes breaking and shit. So we were determined not to use it because it was kind of buggy.
And it adds an extra step for people to play the map.
Yeah, they had to have it installed as well.
The flopper wasn't much to help that either.
Yeah. That was also another huge thing with like the Black Ops mod with the flopper. I coded a like dive to prone in World at War, and that was the buggiest shit I've ever coded in my life.
Buggy.
What is most exciting about making Leviathan in Black Ops 3 instead of World at War? Apart from the limits.
Well, for one, it looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I can't believe how much the engine just does for it. You just slap it in a new engine. Like Treyarch must be doing the exact same thing where they're just like, well, we already got the map files.
Chronicles, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they did have to like make new models and whatnot. Hats off to their modeling team because they look fucking gorgeous. But like, there is still a lot of work that goes into this. We've been working on this since like April.
Yeah, it's like people like, to be fair, like we really shouldn't shit on remaking maps because like there's a lot of work that goes into it.
we know exactly what it's.
We know exactly what it's like.
We've had to like remap like 80% of the rooms too.
Yeah, we've learned a lot since we've been mapping in World at War. Not just mapping, like me and Pi are much better coders now.
100% better, or, well, a lot better. I don't, so much better than I was in World at War. And another cool thing about you said what's cool about Black Ops 3 is the AI system. I am finally starting to understand it. Because it was kind of confusing when the modules first came out for me, and now I'm kind of getting it. So I use it to make the levers, and it's and like once you start getting used to it, it's like a much better way of doing AI than was done in the past. So
Wasn't all the AI like GSC before?
Yeah, it was all G. Well, I mean, the AI now does a lot of calls to GSC, but like it was 100% GSC. Like they spawned a guy and then just ran a bunch of functions on him.
Yeah, but now at least they have like the behavior tree stuff. Like that seems to be like a huge standard now when it comes to making AI for video games. Is you want to have these states and behaviors so that way they actually are like these almost slightly intelligent AI. So they basically know how to react in certain situations. Whereas it's like if it was just code, you don't have like unless you're intentionally coding it to be in this sort of like behavior state sort of system. It's kind of like you're just winging it and you're just making a model move the way you want it to. So it's a lot more structured, I would assume. Pi's the guy who does all of our like AI stuff.
It's sometimes it's great and sometimes it's like banging your head against a wall over and over again.
The majority of the time, it's all fucking evil.
Oh yeah, I turned up the Leaper spawning rates because we're boring. The Leaper rounds were boring because we didn't spawn fast enough, and then so I turned up the spawn rates. A lot more fun now.
Me and Hex have always had this funny like little joke about Pie Man and how we think he's like the most evil person in the world, probably even possessed by the devil.
Oh my god!
Just because we do a lot of brainstorming with some of the ideas we want to bring to our maps, and Pie is the most like satanic person I've ever met. When it
can we please use a different word? Like I just make difficult AI that are fun and challenging. And sometimes, if you're not ready, we'll probably kick your ass. That's what I do. I mean, if you think
here's a good story. Here's a good story, and it's gonna Pie. You'll know it instantly from one word: drop kick.
Oh my god! Oh my god. Okay, yeah, that was pretty bad.
So Pie made this fucking AI for it was for Halloween Town, the original one on World at War. He made this dude. I'll let you explain it, Kai.
So I stole the idea from Payday 2 because I basically stole the guy from Payday 2 who was the cloaker, who will hide around and then one-shot you. And the map was tiny, so I had one of those guys in there, or not one, like multiple. And they made this really scary noise when they knocked people down, and they came up behind you, and they would snap your view around like the astronaut does. So it just really, really scared people. And it was a one-shot kill, and the map was tiny, so that's kind of where that whole thing started, I think.
I forget what video it was in. I don't know, but one of the bushes, like when you hit it with a grenade, it would go away, and the cloaker like pretended like he was dead there, and as soon as the guy got close, he popped up and just kicked the guy in the face.
And it looks like he's doing like a front flip and then a drop kick, so we just
I think it was the Leaper animation.
It was the Leaper animation, 100%. That's what I used.
I just started calling him the drop kicking asshole because it's Pie's baby. Of course, it's got to be an asshole.
Okay, so all right, so that all right, okay.
Yeah, there's no covering up what he's doing.
Yeah, you should hear some of the we could probably talk about some of the ideas you've had, but
fucking Ragnarok when he wanted the Panzers to run up the castle wall.
Oh yeah, that was cool. That was so cool. I'm upset we didn't do that.
Like run up the walls.
Oh, run up the walls. I think they said rub the walls.
No, this was like right when Black Ops 3 was like announced, so I kind of wanted to get the Panzer running on the walls like do an MP.
Bro, that would be crazy.
Yeah, and I ended up just doing it.
That's one thing too. Is we had a death ray in Ragnarok, and I made that before Horizon Drop came out.
Oh yeah,
good point.
Technically,
technically, usually steals stuff from the community, right?
They've stolen from Pie. They've stolen from Pie.
True. I don't think that. I literally don't think we're relevant enough for them to see us.
I find it hilarious that probably about a year after we made an underwater map, what was it? Advanced Warfare made an underwater map.
Yeah, complete copy.
Like that's got to be a copy.
I don't know. I mean, like it's. I don't.
We can all agree that Gorod Krovi stole the orb step from Leviathan.
Oh yeah, we had like a step where you're supposed to follow a glowing yellow orb around Leviathan in the original.
That's gone, by the way.
And they
Now-
did tag her on Toten twice.
Yeah.
Oh, tagged as
Like-
Houghton, by the way. Epic ending, am I right?
I didn't see that.
It was okay.
Me and Jbird have the theory that they canceled Zombies Chronicles 2 and just used Tagter and Toten as like their finale because it did feel
Yep.
kind of rushed.
Yeah, it kind of feels like they made this huge big build up where Samantha's supposed to be the one who ends it all in some great war, but then it's just like, well, where's the great war? Where's Samantha?
And why end it on Victus? Like, what was the point of that?
Yeah, I kind of feel like they were trying to introduce Victus and like Blackout, so they had the character models, but then be able to do like, their whole like chronicles, so they do like Transit and Die Rise and whatnot. But then they were just like, well, we were also going to do like they were probably thinking, oh, we're going to do Call of the Dead as well because that's a fan favorite map and whatnot. And
Don't get me wrong, Tagter Toten's like a beautiful map, but like the Easter egg is the most like I don't know how to explain it. It just feels like lazy. Like they did like that
Yeah,
word step
I
twice.
definitely feel like Tag is the worst. Because I watched Rad Austin 27 do the Easter egg hunt streams. They're like 12 hours long. I watch it from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And, I watched Ancient Evil, fucking Dead of the Night, and Alpha Omega. All three of those Easter eggs, pretty good. This was just really fucking boring, this one.
And it felt like step to step, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it didn't feel like holistic progression at all.
Mm-hmm. And they did an Easter egg step in that map twice. It was the same fucking step, but they just copied and pasted it.
And the
So, yeah,
weird
we
challenge
really think
totals
it-
are fucking...
yeah,
just weird.
we really think it was just like how they had the whole thing where Sledgehammer stopped working on the next year's Call of Duty. I think they probably pulled a bunch of people from Treyarch over to work on Call of Duty 2020, and because of the lack of staff, they had to make a decision to cut the map from Chronicles and not be able to finish the fourth map. And probably since they already had Call of the Dead probably made for the last Chronicles, or was probably in production for the last Chronicles, that I think that's why they decided to go with it, because it was probably almost ready to be made, and all they had to do is finish it up. Like
Be
that's
fair, though,
that's
it's
just
Well,
how
I
it felt, though.
imagine every single map's already remade to BO3 standards. Because
Probably.
Blackout has buried and fucking bunch of
Mhm.
transit areas in Blackout.
They
Yeah, they
mentioned
had
buried
the
so much in
lighthouse.
this map too. What the fuck? Like they're never gonna remake that, I guess.
Black Ops 5.
Yeah. I heard they only
Yeah.
had like a total of like 12 people working on Togder Totem.
Yeah.
Well,
bet
when
you
you think
any money
about
it
how
is.
many people it takes, and well, then again, with us, the three of us making a map, it's like we've been doing this for like half a year now. Is that right?
I think so,
And
yeah.
so it's us remaking a map, and obviously we're not going to be as skilled as an actual Treyarch developer, but I'd like to assume that we have a certain skill set that's capable of pumping out a half decent map in a certain amount of time.
Yeah, fucking deadlines and shit. Must suck
Yeah.
when you have a bunch of plans and then Activision's just like, yeet. You can't do it. Do you have any
I think the
fucking theories against what? Theories for fucking COD 2020? Do you think they'll hit us up with a fucking 1-year exclusivity deal for one of the zombies modes?
Oh boy, I don't think they'll do it with zombies. I definitely feel that unfortunately that's going to probably be something going forward, because they probably got a lot of money out of Sony to do that 1-year exclusivity deal so that they could get the survival mode.
Yeah, and Sony
Like,
want
that's-
to make sure they make
Well-
PS5 sales when that comes out.
Like, I feel zombies is too strong of a mode to be able to pull it away from the game, because when you think about like the way that the survival mode from like MW3, it wasn't a staple to the game. Like, it was something that you just did for fun every now and then. But then if you look at zombies, like there's a whole community around that. Like, I think you can't keep something like that out of the map without upsetting way too many people. Like,
because they had other studios copy it too.
yeah.
What if they did
There's
like
a
Gauntlet or fucking Factions?
I mean, they gotta get it in the game first.
man, I'm still hoping for like Battlefield Dinosaurs, but I doubt that shit's ever gonna happen.
Or dinosaur mode.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of like rumors about like Battlefield doing their own like zombies mode, but with dinosaurs.
Yeah,
What?
I remember that. Yeah, this was around Call of Duty Ghosts when Battlefield 4 was about to be released.
Of course, those rumors start because extinction's a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Jbird loves Extinction, and
So do I.
they're never gonna do it again.
Yeah.
I love it when they do something original. It's great.
Yeah, I thought
I
it
feel
was
like they
really
sh-
cool. It was like this
They
nice
did
progression mode.
HexZombies. Who did HexZombies?
I did.
That was Sledge, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Raven.
advanced.
Sledgehammer?
Yeah.
Raven made
Yeah.
it. Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I think they shouldn't have done like zombies. Maybe just done like the cyborg thing. That would have been actually kind of cool.
So is Ravensoft do you guys think Ravensoft's working on a battle royale right now?
Probably.
For
Because
what
that's
game?
what the rumor right now is that Modern Warfare is just Infinity Ward right now. Like everything that you've seen, the multiplayer, the campaign, and the Spec Ops is all Infinity Ward.
Yeah, that's.
And then, and because the reason why people think that is this is the first time Call of Duty's had a Infinity Ward game where Ravensoft isn't credited in it. And
They
so
added
what people-
High Moon, didn't they, to the studio?
oh, did they?
High Moon works on the fucking PC versions and some of the
Okay.
engine stuff.
So they're more of like
I thought that was Beanox that did PC.
Phoenix also does that.
Oh,
There's so many studios, it's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, Activision is this massive corporation that just like consumes all, right?
Yeah, fucking. As far as I know, for COD 2020, it's Raven Software, Sledgehammer, Treyarch Studios, Beanox, Blizzard, and High Moon.
Jeez.
That's 6 companies.
It's a lot
Yeah.
of people.
And they only make like 2 fucking Call of Duty games a year.
I really hope that. Because the fucking COD's life cycle is 1 year. And I really want to believe that COD 2020
really
will come out in
stretched 1 year.
2021 because of the 1 year exclusivity thing, and they might go for a second season in RW or some bullshit. But the thing is, DLCs are fucking free now, so.
Yeah, I think they need that 1 year gap. Like
What they
been
need to
putting out-
do is make a zombies game, a standalone fucking zombies game. That's it. That makes so
Nah.
much money.
But the thing is with that, then zombies would be super ultra fucking monetized because it's all zombies and they
Yeah.
have to make the money from the one zombies game.
Gobble guns and shit like that, and loot boxes.
Fucking
They're gonna
perks
do like
behind supply
mystery
drops.
boxes.
Imagine.
I
Just
feel like they should
some
do that
mystery
though.
box.
They should just release a game with all the maps on it. They have them all, and they just make quick buck off it.
I'd like to see Treyarch tackle a actual campaign for zombies. That would be an
They talked
interesting
about
thing.
them. Remember, like a long time ago. They never did it.
Dude, nightmares, dude.
Well,
Oh,
isn't that's kind of
I'm kidding.
Is that Black Ops 3?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Black
That is
Ops 3
Black
had
Ops
so many
3.
modes.
It's
Dude, I
literally the
never
campaign
played that.
of
Holy
zombies.
shit.
It's very,
Don't
very
For like
worry.
half
boring.
an hour. Yeah, and I just quit.
It's one of those things where you question what were they smoking when they made this.
I feel like they started it, realized that there's no way they can finish this in time, and then they just
Yeah.
had to fucking.
They just put zombies in it. That's all they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
They got lazy as shit as soon as like Zelensky left. I mean, Black Ops 3 was great, but like it kind of felt like the magic that made zombies really cool left with him.
His last map was buried, right?
Mhm.
And it was buried. That's the guy who stole what's his name? Alex Romos? He's the guy that stole balls from Don
talk
Gooney.
about- What are you?
Oh, the buildables, yeah.
Yeah.
What now?
We used to have a guy that was on World at War mod tools. He made the first buildables.
This was way back. This
Oh,
was
didn't
like
I think Jason
2011?
Blundell? Jason Blundell actually commented on this. I think on
Really?
yeah, it was Zombros ages ago. He was talking about Transit and how they took inspiration from a custom map with the buildables for Transit.
Yeah, it was Don
He had
Gooney.
a-
This guy went to jail.
Yeah. I remember talking to him when he got back too. Yeah, he made a buildable power system. I think that was the very first thing. There was also a buildable ladder he made.
Oh yeah, now I remember that. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was like
His name was Don Gooney, and he went to
I
prison.
think that was 2011 when he made that.
Yeah. And then what's his name? He used to be in the community. His name is like Alex Ramos or whatever.
Sparky?
Okay, yeah, he took it from Gooney. Because that was his first map he worked on was Transit.
I mean, oh.
Pie's like, I don't know about
No,
this.
let's not talk about it.
I don't
I'm
know.
not part of this conversation.
So
Does he even
Jbird,
work? He doesn't work there anymore.
No, he doesn't. I'm pretty sure he works on, like, some VR games.
this.
Works for that guy Justin Roiland.
What shouldn't we know about? We're just speculating.
I don't know.
He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't work there anymore.
Well, I mean, he's probably got NDAs and whatnot, but that's just him talking.
Yeah.
fucking
I'm
To be
not-
fair, though, they gave us the tools, so anything that we make in it is theirs, anyways.
Yeah.
Xela, baby. Let's go. So Jbird, Kepler.
Oh
Kept
fuck!
who?
Kepler 186F. Kepler.
What?
Yeah, who? What? Yeah, so that was an interesting thing. I don't know, me and Pi were working on that for a while, and then
It was ambitious.
And then
it
we
was
just
way too ambitious. It was more
Yeah.
ambitious than Leviathan. And it was just the two of us.
Yeah.
Was it-
Look at the zombies
that
map.
all
It was a
in-
planet hopping map.
I thought
it
that
a
was all in
game.
one map. Okay, I thought it was gonna be a series of maps.
No, it
No.
was one massive map where you started on a spaceship and you would unlock the maps, like the individual maps, or their sub maps basically, because it's all in one map. And they were all relatively, they're a decent size. Like, I'd say the smallest map would be like playing Nuketown.
Damn.
And then the largest one was Chion, which was the ice one that you see in the trailers. Like, that one was probably the size of the Giant, or what's the map called? Dries, that's the word. But yeah, so
Giant,
it was a
Giant.
pretty yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it was too ambitious. Like, we just kind of just kept adding and adding and adding, and
We kind of just stopped.
yeah, we got bored.
Did you guys show anybody that like hyperspace like plane you guys had that transfer you from planet to planet?
Yeah, Pi
I
made
don't
this
think
really
we ever
cool.
showed anyone that.
Yeah,
It was fucking cool. You guys should have seen this. Like, you
I
get
mean,
on a plane.
All right, maybe I can dig up that video from somewhere.
yeah, you unlisted something.
It's all on my YouTube channel, but unlisted. Like, I haven't posted any YouTube videos, but I have a lot of them up there that are all just unlisted about just crazy stuff.
Yeah, I have a boss fight video from the Chion planet, which is where you, like, we can definitely talk about anything of that. The map's canceled. Who cares?
Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. Sorry, everyone.
Was it the ice spiders?
Yeah, so
I
I made
remember
these
those.
amazing spiders where they would literally like shoot like icicles at you.
I still have those. I should put them in Leviathan.
It's evil Pi talking again.
What we should do is we should do a map with just all the bosses, and each wave is a specific boss.
Well, I've had
And
an,
we can
wait,
talk about it.
I've had an idea for a map for ages. I don't think I'm actually gonna make it anymore. But it's basically a challenge map where it's a bunch of floating islands, and each island has a theme. So the first one's just normal nature, and maybe it's the spiders or whatever. And then you get to like round 10, and then you send to the next island, and it could be like ice, and then there's a bunch of ice themed shit, and it progresses and gets harder and harder and harder as you go through the islands.
Kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool.
Always
Me and
wanted to
Pi
do a
had this
Jumanji
idea.
map.
Yeah, me and Pi had this idea for like almost like it was like a challenge map, but it's like you're kind of like in the stadium, and they would just keep pumping out like different types of zombies, and like every single boss zombie from like every zombies mode.
And other bosses that I would eventually start scripting that I really kind of want to script.
Like, we've had so many potential projects. Like, I think I have canceled like, oh my god, at least 20 to 30 projects I've canceled.
One everybody wanted was Frostbite. I made a fucking poster for this guy, and he stopped making it.
Hey, I paid you for that poster.
Yeah, he still has it on his wall.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a continuation of
It reminds me of the time that I canceled another map.
Good looking map too. Holy shit.
Yeah.
World at War. It was great.
that's one of those things where like it's nice when I'm working with you guys because like I feel like
We
when I
keep you
start
in line.
yeah, pretty much. Like when I start
Yeah.
losing motivation, and then one of you like makes something that's really fucking awesome. Like when Pi made the Leapers, like I was just like, oh damn, now I need to like make something awesome as well because
Yeah,
it just
Yeah.
gets
that was awesome.
like
You should see this like in game. Like his leapers look like they're phasing through time.
yeah, he made a really cool effect. It's kind of not very noticeable in the trailer. Chroma picked a weird angle with that shot. It's an amazing trailer from Chroma Stone 10. He made a beautiful trailer, but like for that shot, you don't get a proper angle of the effect coming off of the leaper. It's got like this really cool trail where it's almost like duplicating the model where you can see like phases of the leaper jumping through the air trailing behind him.
That's actually exactly what I'm doing.
We like to call
that's,
quantum leapers.
A lot of
Yeah,
attention to detail.
that's the official name now.
Quantum leapers.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
They
it.
look like-
Yeah.
Fucking leaper super
Oh,
positioning.
speaking of quantum, we had to do the QED word and the.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We've been
Yay.
remastering the not fully the Black Ops mod, but definitely the Black Ops weapons because
Oh,
those were definitely iconic to the map in the original. We had a Black Ops mod for World at War that made the entire game feel as close to Black Ops 1 as we possibly could. I recreated the HUD. We ported all the weapons and tried to balance them to have the exact same stats and everything. We got some help from a bunch of guys around the community. I remember RDV helped me out with like eventually fixing the melee ranges so it wasn't as bad as
Jbird, you're
World at War
cutting out.
before.
Yeah, Jbird, you are a robot.
Wait, I'll
Mike's
fun.
having a panic attack.
Alright,
Fun stuff.
there you go. It's fixed. Yeah, continue.
I thought you left Jay, but I was gonna go. Ah, good. He's fucking gone finally.
Yeah, jeez, thanks.
But there's a lot of stuff that was in the original Leviathan map that was cut that we're actually adding back into this.
Mm-hmm.
So
we
is
can talk-
segue.
so it's
yeah, we
going to
can
be a
talk about a few of those.
reimagine then, not a remaster, as everyone loves.
It's
to chip
kind
out
of like a
definition.
fusion of the two words.
It's kind of like what they
Yeah.
do with like Blood of the Dead and like Mob of the Dead.
Not
It's
really
like an
not quite.
expansion.
Because that's
No.
Blood of the Dead is new areas, right?
Well,
Yeah.
It's just like an expansion of it.
It's-
So
Okay, the map is the exact same. The layout's the same. For those of you who've played the original World at War 1, it's gonna feel like you're playing a newer version of it. It's not gonna have new areas per se.
But some of the areas will look new.
Yeah. We've definitely there's like some areas like one of the big issues we had with like something with the power room was they had this very narrow catwalk before, and you like the power switch was very hidden, and you
that's why
get
I'm a
stuck on
scripter,
it.
not a mapper. I just
Yeah. So we've like revamped some of the rooms so they make a lot more sense gameplay wise. Another big change was just like making sure all the doorways are now double width because a lot of people were getting stuck indoors, which was not fun.
And this time around, we're gonna make sure like every room has a purpose to it too.
Mm-hmm. Whether that be a wall weapon or perk or
Some
a new
Easter
feature.
egg related, yeah.
What about perks? Are you adding any new perks or anything?
Oh, I got a picture of it. You want me to send you it, Jaber, or you want to send it to him?
You want to send me my own perk picture?
Well, you know what I mean. Him, or you want me to send it?
Well,
to
if
him?
you got the picture, yeah, send it.
I've got the PNG you sent me a while ago.
Oh yeah, I forgot I did a render of it.
Yeah, I'll send it.
This is actually the very first perk I made on World at War, but I got cut out of World at War because I didn't realize the way that DVARs worked back then. And this is actually an old model too. I just reused it because it was something I had kicking around. But
Does
it's still
this-
half decent. This is a
back
perk
to-
called Reserve Soda. Oh yeah, and we also got Vigor Rush there making a grand return. But yeah, Reserve Soda is pretty much Bandolier. It's going to increase your magazine size, which is a lot easier to do on Black Ops 3 than any other COD because with the attachment system, we can literally just like swap out your gun really quick and just go, hey, now you got extended mags.
Wait, isn't Vigor Rush like double tap sort of? I can't remember exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the thing is, I had Vigor Rush made before Double Tap 2.0, because this perk originally was made on my very first map back in 2011. So it did technically what Double Tap 2.0 does now. So what I kind of talked over with Hex about it was kind of changing up the effect of it slightly. So now it's going to be more you get explosive rounds rather than double damage.
They
So-
all complement each other, like Double Tap and Vigor Rush.
Like you can definitely stack Vigor Rush, Double Tap, and Pack a Punch and make a lot of damage.
I feel like
That's
that's
a lot
kind
of
of something
damage.
that like the new
But-
maps are missing now. You know, like
but-
you know how they don't have like individual perks in Black Ops 4 now.
Like the one,
That's
like
something
you
that
don't
we
have to
wanna
worry
bring back.
about the. You don't have to worry too much about it being overpowered because keep in mind we have Pieman on our team.
Oh yeah, you don't have to like everything is going to be balanced.
If anything, it's going to be balanced in the zombies' favor.
Balanced in the zombies. Exactly.
That's one of the new features to the map.
What
This
was
is
that?
one of-
What was that video? That movie called Spinal Tap, or like they had like the boombox that turned up to 11. That's like
Yeah.
fucking Pieman's motto.
Yeah.
But it goes to 11.
So this is the new perk. It's going to be sitting in the greenhouse. That is the small little building that Hex worked on in both the original and the new version. So this is Hex's own little room. It's right off of the power. So if you remember where the power station is, there was a little outdoor catwalk area. Under there, there was a building. That is where the new perk is going to be seated.
And it's kind of like a botanical part of the map.
It's kind of like they're doing some research on some of the
Underwater
life.
plants, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of perks,
So every room in this like
Jbird,
What was that?
sorry to cut you off, but
no, go ahead.
what happened to your perkaholic machine thingamajig?
That was really funny because originally I was actually a part of UGX. I started off just doing documentation for their site, just because I was just like, oh yeah, I'll help out. And then Trem was just like, hey, do you want to maybe get us a UGX map right off the bat for Black Ops 3? Because that was back when I was working on I got the alpha tools. There was like a closed alpha, so we got some extra time to kind of play around with the tools before it was released publicly. And so Trem was just like, okay, why don't you go ahead and start working on a UGX map, because they had Comosi, which was an amazing map made by Radimax back in the day, and then that was what their flagship map was for UGX. So I was going to start working on the new one for Black Ops 3, and it was going to be like a perk factory. And I actually don't think I've really told anybody about this because I was just kind of keeping it secret. And then I did that little teaser of the Perkomatic, which was a machine that would allow you to set dials. There's 2 dials, and the one on the left had 4 perks and the one on the right had 4 perks, and you would have to first link up the perk with the perk machines. So you'd have to do something map related to get it hooked up, and then you would be able to fuse 2 perks together, so they wouldn't take up 2 slots, they would take up 1 slot, and then you would get an added bonus that would be kind of the fusion between the 2. So it was almost like these really overpowered perks but you could only have one of them.
Still have the model from that?
I believe I do, yeah.
It's that big machine where you mix and match perks, right?
Yeah, I have a little teaser thing of it. I was just playing around with the model, and then as soon as I got I was like, oh, I gotta make a little quick animation of it. It was actually
It's for the subway map, right?
no, that was originally made for UGX when I was on their team. But after I quit, I was just like, oh yeah, well, it's my model. I was gonna use it for the
I'm
subway.
taking
map.
it.
Is Subway Map another cancel thing?
Yep.
Oh my god, this is gonna be an hour of let's talk about Jbird's canceled maps.
A variety hour show.
Yeah, so our first map that Pi, Hex, Rady, and I were going to jump onto in like as soon as the map or the mod tools were public, was we were working on it. It was kind of like a subway city kind of thing. So the whole map would have been just the city with different sections. And now that I think about it, it kind of sounds a lot like Shadows of Evil.
Still would have been a kick-ass map, though.
But instead of it like a train, like above ground, it was just a subway. And so, like, we were working on that for a little bit. We had like one little town section, and
He had a museum, didn't he?
yeah, actually, all the like the videos that was showing off like different features, like the claymores, the thunder gun, and it was in that little like alleyway sort of thing. Like that area that I was taking all my videos in was like one of the sections of the map. And then so what Hex was saying was there was a museum that me and Rady were working on, and then like eventually me and Rady just fully started working on the museum, and we canceled the city map. And we're like,
Rady just like disappears from time to time, and then he'll come back.
yeah.
Yeah, when he runs out of fucking monsters, that's what he fucks with.
There you go.
Yeah, that's-
Wait, how do you
right.
know that? How do you know that joke? God damn it!
Yeah, he's raiding the monster factory again.
It was always a joke. Like when he leaves, it's like, okay, so I guess he's in like a monster soda coma.
Yeah, when we were working on Leviathan, the original.
Rady's
Rady-
great, but he's a weirdo.
I love the guy. He's hilarious.
Welcome to come on the podcast, by the way, ready?
Hopefully he does. Don't let him get your like Discord. He'll send you weird shit.
He's never sent me anything weird.
I spoke to him
Pictures of
about
like women that he
fucking-
loves.
bro. I spoke
Okay,
to him
that's weird.
about fucking seeing the future for 4 hours on Discord once.
I still remember like his old logo was like him in his boxers.
Oh my god.
And he had like this stuffed unicorn with him, and he's
Yep.
like posing. Oh my god.
And that's his
I
pick now,
remember
right?
that.
Just the
Holy
unicorn.
shit, that's funny.
Fucking
Bring
ready.
that back, actually. That was funny.
Yeah.
He's back though. He's actually helping us, but he disappeared like a week ago.
Yeah. we got him to join up. So, like, as I was saying a while ago, me and Rady initially started the project as an April Fool's Day joke. Then he disappeared,
Then he came back to the trailer.
and then we had Chroma make that trailer. This is what 5-6 months later, and then we get a message from Rady. He's like, "Oh my god, I saw the trailer."
I thought he was gonna ask, "Where the hell is my name?"
Yeah. So Rady's just like, yeah, I'll start working on the map with you guys. So Rady was doing a little bit of mapping 2-3 weeks ago.
He's gonna do the Dr. Wells office.
Yeah, that's down in the labs. Which
I have a
have
whole
been-
story about this, by the way. I don't know if you guys played the original Leviathan, but
I've
we're
only played it
we're
a little bit. Zella's played it though.
yeah, we had like a whole story set up. We're actually gonna expand on that too.
Mhm. We're actually trying to tie it in a bit to the actual storyline of zombies. If anything, it fits more into the Ultimus storyline.
Well, do you want to give any like
We won't say
details
what.
about the story? Or you just save that?
No.
We'll keep that a little bit longer.
We can't say like what's in the original. Like it's a scientific research base.
Yeah.
Something bad happened, like always, and then you have to help out.
I knew it. An Element 115 meteor crashed into the ocean bed floor. Knew it.
It's something different. We didn't actually go into depth with it on the original Leviathan, but it's something different.
Mm-hmm.
It plays into the story though.
What's it like working with multiple people on one map? Like, how do you manage that? Do you upload, like, do you work in prefabs or layers or?
We definitely work with prefabs. Rady tried getting us working in layers on the original, but I hated it so much.
We're still getting rid of layers from the original.
Yeah. We literally were going through all of the map files, and me and Hex was just like, okay, just copy and delete everything out of every layer and then put it in a one global layer.
Layers are good when you're working with 300 people in a giant company, but when you're working with 3 people, you don't need them.
Yeah, like, it's nice when we just like, okay, you know what? You're working on this room, you get a prefab of that entire room, nobody can touch it but you. And then nobody steps on each other's toes. It's kind of like is it SVN, which is like a it's kind of like I don't know if you know anything about like programming and whatnot. There's something called Git, which is kind of how developers can code on the same code as this somebody else, and then have like all their code merged into one repository. In this case, it's more that we can't work on the same things at the same time, but we're able to work on the total project together.
Yeah.
While we're on the subject of prefabs, can we talk about Lakaka Room?
Oh.
Can you tell? No, wait. That's Jbird.
Please
That's the story
elaborate.
Jbird can tell. Yeah.
Okay,
Jbird.
so originally, when Hex and Pi came to me to work on Leviathan, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll start working on this locker room. And so that was the first area that I made. It was just this locker room, because I was just like, oh yeah, they need somewhere that they're going to set up their scuba suits and stuff like that. And so I sent that to Pi, because Pi was the one doing all the compiling back then. And then I assumed that we were going to have prefabs of each area, so I sent him that. And he decided to use that as the main map file. So Leviathan started off as the locker room prefab. But Rady and Pi have like these weird naming conventions where they just add a bunch of random characters to the end of things. And so eventually the map turned out like it wasn't even locker room anymore. It became like lock cocker room.
Just literally because I spelled it wrong. That's the only reason that happened. Like eventually, over all the versions, I just spelled it wrong.
And
Back
so
in
it was
like previous maps we've all worked on, there's spelling errors from Pi everywhere.
yeah, it was like lock cocker room dot pi dot like 9,200, like some giant number, and it was like _2 because it was the second version.
And it wasn't even called Leviathan. Yeah, it was just called Lakaka Room .1, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god! And
Crash Room too.
Oh yeah, that's a good story too. We had a map or a prefab in the map. Surprisingly, it was actually its own prefab. It wasn't part of Lakaka Room, and it was the how do I explain this? It's the room that gets breached by the excavator. That's by Dr. Wells in the test tube. It's that big room.
Oh yeah, because people don't know what the call-out crasher is. Because we don't know it, but people do. Yeah.
So it's the room that the excavator breaches, and it has the AK-74U in it. And I think
They both breach rooms have the 74U in it, Jbird.
Yeah, the other one's a tunnel.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Not the tunnel one.
Yeah. So, well, technically, it's called Tunnel 6 too.
Well, that's because we had to use the moon quotes.
But yeah, so basically, this room near the end of making Leviathan, it started crashing. Like every time you load up the map file, Radiant would just crash, and there was no explanation, no error. It was just crash to desktop. And so we literally just started calling it Crash Room because it literally crashed. Somehow, I think
it transferred over to Black Ops 3 for some reason.
Yeah, totally fine. I don't know why it doesn't crash anymore. Black Ops 3's fine with it. For now.
For now.
So that's the story of prefabs.
Yeah.
Prefabs are great though.
Yeah.
Love them. So what do you cunts think about... do you guys play multiplayer at all?
Yeah.
I played the Modern Warfare beta, but that's like the most...
Dude, I haven't played
I haven't
Call of
played
Duty
that many
since
multiplayers.
Black Ops 1.
I play every COD.
What do you think about the weapons and the fucking sexy shit we can get from Modern Warfare? But the assets are hashed. Like all the assets are hashed.
Yeah.
And you have to run the Zone
Yeah.
Ripper.
That's not going to be fun, that's for sure.
You guys have to thank that one guy that did all the those funny animations that's on the team now. What's his name?
Which funny animations?
You remember he used to like do a bunch of funny animations on
Oh,
YouTube?
Hyper.
Oh yeah, he's on the Infinity Ward team now. That's awesome. He's a really good animator. I don't know if you know, his name is Hyper. He's a YouTuber, or I guess he was. He doesn't really make much YouTube videos anymore. But he makes amazing animations, and some of them are really funny too. Like he had like ones where it was like this giant ass magazine that would just like appear out of the pistol, and it was just like this. The magazine's like 10 times the size of the gun.
What, you pull it out, it just gets like bigger and bigger, like it's infinite
Yeah.
bag or whatever.
He had like another one where the AK-74U's got a literal banana for a banana mag. There's
when
like
he
a revolver.
took the dual mag and he throw it across space or whatever.
Yeah, he had like a revolver, and he does this really fancy like reload animation where he's like got his pinky in the air, like all daft and whatnot, and then he's like putting each individual bullet in, it just like falls into place, and then he takes the like speed loader and he just chucks it, and it just goes flying into space and it hits some dude floating out there. I don't know, it's just really talented animator.
So what you're
See
saying
the behind the
is
scene.
he's gonna
for
do
that.
all the emotes and dabbing fucking animations for this.
You know what's funny?
Microtransactions.
You know what's funny? I got the pleasure to play with David Vonderhaar on Blackout not too long ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I was talking to him about like, do they actually get people? Is it keyframed animations, or do they actually get people in the studio in mocap suits to do these dances? He says some of them are.
Well, yeah,
So
I imagine the simple one. Okay,
Yeah, but still, it's so funny to think that there's some guy out there that had to do all these dances in a monkey suit.
That would be my favorite job. I would love that. You get paid to just be an idiot.
Yeah, that'd be really funny though.
fucking choreographing on K.
They just get a guy in a mocap like pretending to smoke weed for like one of the emotes in the studio.
Is there a fucking nay emote?
Not yet.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't remember there.
There was in Black Ops 3.
Didn't they want this to be
Oh,
more
yeah,
down to
it was.
earth for Modern Warfare?
Well, yeah,
Just wait
Modern
3
Warfare,
months. Just wait 3 months. Then we'll see.
Yeah. They said that in the World War II one, didn't they?
They say
Yeah,
that
and
in
then
every
they had leprechauns.
Well, that was a zombies map.
No, that was in the
zombies-
multiplayer. They had
Dude, that
leprechauns going
zombies-
around.
They had in there was cool, but it was fucking dumb as hell.
They had that fucking sandpit map where you're like a miniature.
Oh, yeah.
Like, like toy soldiers or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in a sandbox.
Yeah.
It's really gothic and cool, but like the way they did it was just like dumb.
Oh, and there's the picnic map in Black Ops 3, was it?
Yeah, what
Oh,
a
yeah.
weird map.
Oh,
And you're just like on a picnic table with this tiny little soldier,
Oh
basically.
It's like
yeah,
giant
they were
flies.
trying to copy rats from like Counter-Strike.
I don't like the goofy maps. I like the memorable maps that actually have good level design to them.
Yeah, I like being immersed in the place that it takes place. This fucking
Love,
picnic shit.
I love Pipeline. Pipeline was such a good map.
Mm.
Are they gonna bring that back, Pipeline or Crash?
They already confirmed that they're bringing Rust back.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bro, speaking of remakes with like everything, the amount of multiplayer
Yeah.
maps that get recycled is ridiculous.
What
Watch
was it?
Terminal
We
Shop.
haven't had an original zombies
Oh, yeah.
map since what?
Gorod.
Grovey.
Gorod. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, the
Holy
Ether
hell.
July
Either-
2016.
Like, that's crazy to think that all the Ether maps in Black Ops 4 were remakes. Like, that's...
wait,
Insane.
weren't the other maps in Black Ops 4 with the other crew not remakes?
They weren't. Those...
That's
I'm saying for Ether.
that's
for
chaos.
Ether,
Nobody
okay, I mean,
nobody
yeah.
cares about chaos. I mean, that's Blundell's trying to be like the new Jimmy Zielinski, but it didn't
Like,
work out.
I did like 9. It played really well as a map. I just didn't really care about the story. Like, I was definitely fixated on the Ether story.
Mansion map was cool as hell, but like totally like dumb story, bad mechanics.
The other night.
Yeah.
Yeah, great looking map though. Like they look great. Nothing against the mappers,
hmm
whatever they call them.
The Chaos maps
Oh, yeah,
are very,
builders.
very
Builders.
fucking beautiful. And it's like you got this crazy new areas, massive fucking Chaos maps, and then you just look at others like, it's the same map.
Yeah,
again.
I don't get what the thing is. I think what they're missing, like what they've done since the beginning is they don't have like the new perk machines. Everybody always wanted like new perk
Mhm.
machines. You go into a map, there's a new one, you're like, holy shit. But now they traded it off for some stupid every perk's in one, which I don't get.
I hate that design. If you're gonna go
Yeah.
with the menu-based thing, at least use the ghosts progression method of getting perks instead of having physical machines in the map, since they change anyways. I think it's dumb.
Same with the health system. Like none of it feels like the original zombies.
Yeah, you just always take 4 hits now, which is weird. Like, I like that World War II Zombies was at least trying to break away from the Juggernaut system because everybody needed that as your crutch perk. Like, you literally couldn't do high rounds without it, so you're left with 3 perks. So what did they do? They took it out of the perk system and put it into its own little armor system. And it was creative because it, like, you could lose your armor, which was a nice, unique way of removing it from the perks. But then Treyarch's just like, yeah, we'll try to do the same thing, but then now it's just like, oh no.
It's the thing, they try to copy other people, and it's like, this is your game. You remember that, right? You created this game mode. Like, you don't have to copy other people.
Like, I think
So
Treyarch should stick with Juggernaut.
fucking copying. Bruh, I never played Fortnite, but someone showed me a screenshot of the Battle Pass. This is when Black Ops 4 fucking came out. The fucking tier system is the exact fucking same. Literally just straight copies of design. Like 1-to-1 copies of design.
Blackout's a copy of fucking Fortnite and Counter-Strike.
True. PUBG.
So is Apex Legends.
Well, it's just this huge trend of Battle Royale.
Is it gonna die out soon? Like, it seems like it is.
Seems like it's already dead.
Yeah. Now Minecraft is the thing.
Again?
Minecraft
Wasn't it already a
awesome.
thing?
Yeah, it was great, so that's why it's a thing again.
Yeah. Oh man.
It started in Minecraft with the Hunger Games thing.
Oh yeah.
Was
It's all just going in a circle.
Was that before the Arma 2 mod?
Yeah. It was
You mean DayZ?
No.
Yeah, DayZ
the
is a
Battle
Arma 2
Royale.
The Arma 2 Battle Royale mod.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they had one.
Well, I know it all started with Minecraft because they copied Battle Royale, the manga.
There's some manga.
Yeah, remember Battle Royale? It's
Literally
a movie.
Battle Royale.
Yeah, there's a movie by a Chinese movie company where they made it.
Oh yeah, didn't know that.
So
Battle
Hunger
Royale
Games-
copied Hunger Games. Or
Hunger
copied
Games
Battle-
copied
yeah.
Battle Royale. Which is hilarious because actually looking at my icon from the Hunger Games is my first thing I ever modeled. I was like,
It's
"Jimmy, can you
plain-
model me the hovercraft?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like,
Coming full
"I'll
circle.
do it myself."
I swear, you probably bugged me for half a year to make that
Half a
model.
year, and then you're like, "No," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll
Yes.
learn how to model. It's fine."
Oh, we also did a remake of the Leviathan poster, just so everybody knows.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
gonna
when
go
are
up
those
on
going to?
sale.
Or
release
we
it?
can't, because it reveals some stuff that we can't talk about yet.
Yeah,
Does
probably
it?
around the time.
Oh yeah, it does.
Trailer. Yeah, I'd say around the time of the actual trailer. The thing that was released is a teaser trailer because we're still working on the map. We have a lot of mapping that's still left to do. Like a lot of it's done right now. Since we've been
It's
working
the
on it for-
original poster. Like, we have a new one that looks just kick-ass. I don't if you look at the old poster, you can see that's the Mob of the Dead crew, but we never had them in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was gonna say this brings back memories, but then I can just look up and see the poster on my wall.
Yeah, I have
think
it
I
on mine
might
too.
want to get one of these. I didn't get one for the original Leviathan. I should
Oh.
get this one.
We're gonna have shirts, baby. Come on.
We're getting shirts. I want a shirt.
Shirts, man.
I definitely want a shirt.
Any mugs?
Yeah.
Hats?
Well,
Gotta milk this.
we're
Yeah.
gonna do what I did before with like another company. We're just gonna have like shirts and posters and stuff like that.
Like they basically handle all of it. It's
Yeah.
you just give them the design, and then people just go, "Oh, I want to order this sort of item," and it'll have the design on.
And we already have our own like team logo that we had made. It looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Have you thought about making a Patreon for your group?
I mean,
I mean, it's something like we've talked about, like
on the road,
possibly
maybe.
getting donations and whatnot, because we might branch out into making games from this.
Yeah.
Like
That
that's
would
the-
actually help. That would help fund like the next project.
like even for this, like we're actually putting money into this Leviathan project. I don't want to say too much, but like
Oh yeah. Good point.
we have contemplated voice actors. We can't exactly recreate the actual character voices from like Ultimus because no way we're gonna be able to get like,
Yeah.
these huge.
We're planning on doing an opening too. An opening with
Just
Yeah.
contact
voices.
that guy on Reddit who fucking impersonated the fake radio.
I don't think we want to
Anyone
do any
said that.
impersonation.
Right, have
think
you
that's
heard
where
that
we
radio
went.
though? The fake one with
No.
the fake ending?
Is it that Keegan guy that we talked to before Pi?
Oh yeah, I do remember him.
Because I think he did some voices for Mad Gaz.
His name is Voodoo Nick.
I just
Okay.
what we're talking about is like some of the other characters in the map, like
Yeah, we're gonna have Dr. Wells replaced,
Yeah, Hex did the original voice for that,
which wasn't the best.
But it's still really iconic,
It was really,
I guess. But
it was really sci-fi campy, like 80s.
And I guess there's no harm in saying this, but we also got Glitching Queen, who's said she'd help us out on doing the PA sounds, because if you guys remember in Leviathan, yes, it's like Moon. We have our own PES system because you can't breathe underwater. But yeah,
You
I know
can't.
shocking.
You heard it here first. You cannot breathe underwater. Kids, don't try this at home. Don't try to breathe underwater. But yeah, so we have the little warnings and whatnot for the excavators coming in. So we got our quotes ready, and we asked Glitching Queen if she wanted to do some of the the voice of the PA announcer. So it'll give you the warnings saying you need to put your we're calling it the ABA, which is the
aquatic breathing apparatus.
That's the acronym.
Okay.
So we didn't go with the PES anymore because we were trying to break away from and try to keep it our own original thing, even though it's still low gravity. You can't breathe outside. It's Moon, but I mean the fact that it's a scuba suit, our original. Here's a good one. Our original character models in Leviathan were the Moon models from Moon, and you would literally be wearing an astronaut suit, and we're just yeah, that's a scuba suit. Don't question it.
I never really questioned it, to be honest. I never noticed it.
That was the goal.
But now Jbird has actual scuba suits, and we have the actual logo on it too, which is cool.
Yeah, we put our little Team Leviathan logo on this.
Oh my god! I just realized something. I'll tell you guys later.
You can.
There's a lot of stuff in the trailer. If you watch it, there's a lot of hidden stuff that Chroma put in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
you have to look really hard for it.
That's another thing we can talk about that we said we were going to talk about.
Very subtle, Pi.
Is this okay, Jimmy? Can we talk about this?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right, so you were saying there's something hidden in the trailer.
There are a lot of things hidden in the trailer, and I just realized one more that I didn't even think about until right now.
Is it spinny? Does it spin?
Well, no, that was the one I was about to talk about.
Okay.
So in the original Leviathan, we have these fans around the map. There's one by Power where there's 4 fans on it, and there's one
everywhere.
They're sprinkled around. There's one in the back by that big tank thing, and then there's
cafeteria.
Yeah, there's one under there. So in the original they didn't do anything, but for this one we wanted they were going to be a fan trap that sucked the zombies in. When you turn it on, it just spins around and they all get sucked in. And it didn't make it into the original one, but it made it. It's going to go into the new Leviathan. It's already done. You can. There's a frame in the trailer where you can see it. The really cool effect that
there's a lot of stuff in the trailer that nobody noticed.
No one noticed.
Jeez, even went over my head, and I watched that thing 100 times.
Yeah. So yeah, you can see the fan trap, and I got that working probably about a month and a half ago now.
Jbird wants to talk about something too.
Yeah, so one of the things that we've been kind of pushing for, I know we said that we're kind of bringing back the whole Black Ops 1 aesthetic, but we do want to keep this true to Black Ops 3 and make it as professional of a map as possible. So all the things that you would think of as in a Black Ops 3 map, we're really trying to push to make our map feel like it could be DLC for Black Ops 3. So,
but not Gobblegum. We don't have.
Yeah, we're not going to
or double pack a punch.
Yeah, we've learned that as well. Let's just start listing all the things that were not black.
Nothing's gonna be in this map. Never. There's
but
actually
yeah,
stuff
so
that got cut.
I think
There's
the
Yeah.
double
stuff
pap
that
is
got cut.
stupid. It's
it's
too
pretty
OP.
overpowered. Like the double pap for like the effects that you get. Like if you get like what is it, blast furnace?
Yeah,
Dead
it
wire.
deals
Dead wire.
infinite
Yeah.
damage.
Dead wire.
They never stop instant killing.
Yeah,
You could go to like round 100 with the RK5 with just an alternate ammo type.
It's just better to make
so
things
OP.
like the original, make it harder on the player.
Somebody put a comment on the trailer, the teaser trailer, saying, "I hope this is like World at War, where it's 2-hit down." And
Fuck
You don't
that.
want that.
yeah,
2-hit down on BO3.
I'm sure Pi would love that.
I'm trying to balance it, Hex. I'm trying to make it a balanced experience. Most
Anyways, Jbird, go and talk about what was in the
Yeah,
trailer that was
so-
hidden.
one of the things that we've been trying to keep like, wait, Hex, what do you mean? Are you talking about?
The screens in the
Yes.
starting room.
So one of the things from Black Ops 3 that we've been trying to bring over that they had in the
Oh,
DLC maps was they
What
have
the fuck?
they have
Who knows what
trials.
you're talking about?
They have these. So I think it was first in Zetsubo. They had the trials that you could do where you get rewards for like little randomized tasks, and we did our best to recreate it 1-to-1 with their system. So they had it in Zetsubo, Gorod,
Oh,
and
Jbird
Revelations.
did his best.
Yes. So I actually did a bunch of Lua for it, and managed to get their Lua loaded in. So like we have the HUD that like displays like the progress circle with like for instance, one of the trials could be get kills without wearing your scuba mask while you're drowning.
I literally thought you were about to give something away for a second. I was like, no, don't
No.
do it. Don't do it.
No, don't worry. But yeah, so we have these. We call them trial computers. They're actually something we originally had in Kepler, and so I brought them into Leviathan. So they're in the starting, like when you drop out of the submarine, you get these little trials that you can do. But we have some other things that we've been adding into the map as well. But like that was one of the things that it was like, if we're gonna try to match all the things that Treyarch's been doing in their maps as a Black Ops 3 standard, then we got to have the trials. Like
It
that's
looked
gotta
great
be-
too. Like he made them look like these sonar like computers. It's freaking awesome.
Mhm.
Just wait for the clickbait. This should have been DLC 4.
Yeah.
Fucking
That's like
DLC
every map
9
they
for
title on
Black Ops
YouTube.
30? Question mark.
Is that too? Every YouTube title is like best map ever? Question mark?
Yeah,
Question
yeah.
mark? Question mark?
Well, it's,
I think that's like every Noah J like video is like best map ever.
Yeah. And then another thing that we've decided to put in is buildables. That wasn't something that was in the original. I think, did we ever talk about doing buildables in there?
Yeah, but it never got in there. You
Yeah,
actually
we just
have
had
tables
so
in
much
there.
stuff.
so there'll be a
yeah,
lot
so-
of depth to this map.
Yeah, we are basically trying to fill it to the rim of just features because we have been in the mindset of we need to find that you can add to the map that make you want to replay it.
Yeah.
Not just going to be a map that we're trying to go for, but
That's what everybody liked about the original. It was just like this giant open like world map. Like it was a giant circle, but like there was always different layers to it. Like you can go below it, you can go above
Like
the
an onion.
station, you can go outside. Yeah, zombie maps are like onions. But yeah, there's multiple layers to the map. Like you can go one direction, you can go another direction, you can go above, you can go outside, you can go inside. You can go to different places that aren't even in the map.
But yeah, so like that's one of the things. Like it's our goal to make the map fun and replayable by
There will-
adding.
There will be new areas though, Jbird.
Oh,
I'm not gonna talk like there's an
Not-
Easter egg.
oh,
There's Easter egg
not-
stuff.
Stop. Not
Whoa.
in the. All right. Not in the layout of.
400% bigger confirmed.
But
Not confirmed. you just hear like my mic like start crackling and just like you hear like a slap and then X is like, oh crap.
Oh, what did you do that? How did you do that from Canada?
Yeah.
Fucking
No,
cut
I'm
the
not
podcast.
giving anything away, but there will be new things that weren't in the original.
Oh yeah, like we're trying to make the experience as new as possible, but still keeping the original.
There was this cool thing that Jbird modeled in the original and Pi scripted. It was those rockets, the torpedoes.
Oh yeah.
We called them the Hammerhead torpedoes, and they were freaking awesome. Nobody used them. Never. It's not going to be in this now.
Well, it was like one of those things where it wasn't obvious what it did. You threw it and it was just like, oh, this grenade that just like a missile. But neat. Pi made this. It was like a custom project.
I'll change the server again. Okay. Start talking?
Hello?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Bit like
oh,
a bit.
bad?
I think it's
okay.
fine. Yeah, go on.
But yeah, so Pi was working on.
That's fucked.
But I can talk about what they are because
Pi, you talk about it. I'll jump out and restart my Discord.
Okay, sounds good. So the Hammerhead torpedoes were like the hunter killer drones from Black Ops 2, where you could throw them up in the air, they'd
that's
orbit
what I
around,
thought they were.
and then wait for a target and blow them up, or you could just throw them. But like no one used them. So
the original idea was to actually throw one from across the map, and like say your friend was like down by a bunch of zombies, you could throw it. It would hit that area. Like you could throw it in any direction that you wanted to, and it'd probably go in that direction.
Eventually.
Hopefully, Mike's working now.
Pi had a whole like area in the sky that was like, what was it, like tracked out or whatever, right? Like vehicle tracks.
No, I mean the vehicle track was for the sub.
You had nodes up in or like structs up in the sky though for them to go to.
Oh yeah, I did have structs up in the sky where they're like, all right, so this is kind of like they would ascend to this level and then just randomly pick them and just run back and forth, and then eventually, if it saw a zombie on the ground, it would fly down and blow it up.
Who knows? Though they might come back. I don't know.
I want to replace it with if I'm being perfectly honest, I want to replace it. I don't know what I want to. I want to replace it with something cool and useful that people are gonna because it's competing with Ghost devices or QED, and that's why no one used them because the Ghost device with QED is way more useful.
Learning from our mistakes.
So yeah, exactly. So I want to either do the hunter killer drone from a different fashion, like so you get it some other way, or have something in the box that can compete with the Ghost device. Or
that's another thing that's great about Black Ops 3 Pi is that like in the original Leviathan, like all the zombies were runners from like the very beginning, right? Because there was a giant map they had to get through. So with this one, they can just like spawn in wherever you want them to. Far away from them.
Treyarch for a while has had this like if the zombie's too far away, kill them off and respawn them script.
Yeah, the cleanup script.
The cleanup script. We only recently added it. And there were times where I'd run from one end of the map to the other, and it would take like 5 minutes for the zombies to show up. So
that was the thing in Ragnarok.
Really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I in Poop of the Dead masterpiece map. I know.
Which map?
The meme map, but Poop of the Dead.
Okay.
You should know it. It's the best map on the workshop.
Is it the toilet map you guys made?
Yeah, me and Simbo made that. And with the cleanup script, we made it so the second it can't path through, you just instantly deletes and then respawns. So that when a player goes down, you don't just have zombies standing there for like fucking 5 minutes.
You guys should have seen this shit in World at War, man. Like you had to have like zombies sprinting if you had a big map, or you had to have like a teleporter to teleport them across the map.
Pi had this ingenious teleporter in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
It was a traverse that would allow the zombie to like teleport.
Yeah. And because it was a traversal, they saw it as a path. So the zombies saw every single teleporter in that map as a path once it was opened. And that allowed them to use the code in the game to get close to the players without me having to do anything. It was really awesome.
Because I'm pretty sure they just did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just did like a quick like distance check for path nodes back in the day. So when they probably saw the traversal, it was just like, oh, there's the distance to the traversal, and then the distance from any of the other traversals to the player, and it's just like, whoa, that's way quicker than just running all the way.
Oh yeah, what it was is, I forgot that they all went to. There was like a
central thing,
central location outside the map. It was just a box in no draw, I don't want to say the other term for that because I'll mispronounce it.
Pi has a lot of genius ideas.
And then they all go there, and then and then because all the traversals are like in pairs of 2, they're all they can just go to whatever one is needed, and they get teleported back. And you can kind of tell where it is. It's like right under the castle, because when the patriarch spawns in and he goes to the teleporter, you can hear him in the teleporter box.
Was that your idea for the sub flying around the map with the Pack-a-Punch in it?
What do you mean?
Was that your idea in the original map?
I think it was my idea. It kind of just happened. I don't think. I think it was one who scripted it.
I just want to talk about how much I love that. That's like the coolest thing ever. Just having like our Pack-a-Punch roam around the map.
It was, if I'm being perfectly honest, not intentional. It was just something I just did. If I remember correctly, and it was me who implemented that feature, it wasn't something I even thought about as a gameplay feature. It's just like, we need to get back in the sub. Maybe it just flies around.
I still like the origins of the whole like underwater like map in general. How this came from the Swan.
Yeah.
Well, no, it came from that Courage of the Cowardly Dog map I made.
What?
I thought this is like the whole...
I made Courage the Cowardly Dog. Remember that? What was it? Harvest Moon or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that
poster. I used to make loading screens for people's maps in World at War. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You made Lockdown.
So I made a loading screen called Dead Sea, and I went to Pi and I said, "Dude, I'd love to make like an underwater map." And he said, "No," or he said something like I was an idiot or something like that. So then we worked on this.
I don't remember that.
We worked on this. We worked on the Swan because we both love Lost, and then Pi somehow did magic underwater, and we were like, "Let's do that."
Yeah. I don't remember what I mean. I don't remember that poster. I also don't remember saying that was a stupid idea.
I think I get a lot of that though, so it may have been like somebody else.
I don't remember this at all. But what I do remember was doing the rabbit. What's that station underwater?
The looking glass.
Looking glass. Yeah, I remember trying to get the underwater for that to look good, and then when I was able to do it, I'm like, let's do a whole map of this.
That's the first breaching. That's where breaching came from. Was,
I still love NGT.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was.
Watch it. If you guys ever get a chance, watch that.
Pi put these really funny signs in the Swan. It's just like a grenade with like crossed out. So it's just like, oh, don't put any grenades near the windows. And it was Hypermole from NGT, and he's just like, "Do you think that's an actual sign?" Like he said something along the lines like, "That's not real" or something like that. And it's just like, and then he goes and he chucks a grenade, and then Spider's like, "What are you talking about? What?" And he's like, "No, you didn't." And then the whole thing floods, and they were pretty far through the Easter egg.
Yeah,
and
they're
then
almost done.
He killed them just from flooding the underwater area.
They weren't drowning. There was no drowning mechanic, so it just cut to black, and he's like, "What happened?" And then it comes back, and he's like, "Oh, you piece of shit." If you get a chance, watch the Swan Easter egg they did. Fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's really funny.
And that's kind of another thing I want to bring up, and I guess something we can talk about from that was similar in the Swan, wasn't in the old Leviathan, but is now coming to the new Leviathan. Jbird, you might know what I'm talking about, but the breach zone, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Jbird and I worked on this breach script. I did the beginning of it, and then Jbird edited it.
I just did some small tweaks. You did.
Okay, I did the most. Okay, I wanted to make sure it wasn't taking too much credit for my work. I couldn't remember. All right, cool. Awesome. So anyway, I made this breach script.
Yeah, you did.
Own it.
I'll own it. Yeah, that. Now the water will actually rise. It takes time to the room doesn't instantly breach. Like the thing goes off and then it plays effects, and then the water rises, and then the effects change as the water gets higher, and then once it goes above the player's height, the player goes underwater. I still need to fix this so that way if you jump out of the water, you go out of the water. Because currently, if you're in like the power room and you jump out of the water after you've gone in the water and the water hasn't risen that high yet, you'll still be underwater. So I have to fix that. But
edge
cases are fun. But yeah, so now the water floods and it will actually fill up the rooms.
It's a lot more epic than the original. Like the original was just like you see a bunch of effects and then now you're considered underwater. Whereas this is like a lot more like you're in the action, like the water's rising, and if you don't know what's happening and you don't have a scuba mask, you might actually start panicking a bit, and you're just like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? Water. So
Jbird actually updated the visuals for underwater. They look amazing.
yeah, I took a lot of hints from Call of Duty Ghosts. They had a underwater mission. And
You show any of them, Jbird? Like, I know you got a couple like pictures of it. They look great.
I could
really
probably
good.
I could probably send like a picture or two. But yeah, one of the new things that I was focused on was I really like this thing that they did in Call of Duty Ghosts where you're wearing this physical model for the scuba mask. We're not doing that because it's still a bit difficult to get something like that to look good. I tried it and it just wasn't the best look. But one of the features that they did have was you could hear the character breathing into their mask, so that you could hear them breathe in, and then when they breathed out, you could see you could hear bubbles and you could see them on your screen, kind of going off into the sides, like you're ejecting all the air out of your suit. And it definitely adds a lot of immersion to being underwater. Like I think that was one of the big stepping stones for getting Leviathan for Black Ops 3 to feel even more underwater was we need to add more depth to the water system to make it feel like you're actually underwater. Because technically, this is all scripted. It's not, none of it is actual water. Like there's no water involved in the map.
No shit.
Well, I mean, Black Ops 3 can handle water, but it can't handle it in the way that we want to have water.
Yeah. Because we're not actually swimming or anything in this.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did do some tests where if you sprinted underwater, you'd start swimming. And it kind of looked cool, but it would be super laggy and go off. And
yeah. I mean, but we can't have anybody
Um,
swimming in the actual map because you swim out of the map.
No, we were planning on doing something where it was like your sprint was replaced with a swim.
with a swim,
I
and then
get you.
everything
So
else would either were undertow volumes.
Oh yeah,
but
that was another idea. Was
it
like
just-
allowing you to swim up, but like have like a current pushing you down.
it just didn't seem feasible, so it was just easier to.
So we're still going with the old low gravity system that we did, but it's more tailored towards the way that Moon does it because they actually have an engine function for doing low gravity.
Yeah,
In the original Leviathan, Pi made this fancy script that would basically hold you up in the air when you jumped. And
I got. Yeah, to
It
be
was-
fair, I got the idea from Red Space, but yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I asked him like, how should I do this? He's like, that's how I ask people things.
Yeah, and it basically would hold the player up into the air, but it had the same issue that my dive to prone script had, which was if you weren't the host, you had some sort of lag between your actions that you were doing. So everything was running on what's called GSC, which is ran on the host of the game. So if you're the host, everything's fine, everything's nice. If you tried to dive to prone back then, it was instantaneous. If you jumped underwater, it would float like low gravity, even though World at War couldn't do that. But then if you were a client, if you were one of the other co-op players, you would have your ping delay basically times 2 added onto every action that you would do. So if you were, doing like if you had like 100 ping, you're waiting 0.2 of a second now to do a dive to prone, so it might be a bit laggy. It's not too bad at 100 ping, but then let's say, yeah, what's up?
Me and Xela were trying to play Leviathan. Xela's in America, I'm in Australia.
Yeah,
We fucking load in. I could barely get inside the fucking map because I had 600 ping.
yeah. So with 600,
Did you get the pistol glitch?
No, what's that?
No.
we had some weird bug with the original Leviathan where we had so much stuff in it that it would actually have trouble loading everything at the very beginning. And so if one of the players didn't load everything, it would crap out and like maybe effects weren't loaded. Maybe your guy doesn't have a gun now. Like there was just so much packed into that because World at War, we were just pushing that to its limits. So occasionally, actually more than occasionally, you would load up the map and it would be really buggy.
Just be you floating around with a pistol.
Yep. Pistol. The doors didn't change color when you open them.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, some scripts just didn't run.
Some scriptures were broken.
Other than that,
it was
it ran
nothing to
okay.
do with had nothing to do with the way that we did anything. It was just the fact that we had so much stuff jam packed in that map that it just, for its time, it just was a little too much.
Well,
But
hopefully
we
She
don't
had
have that
the-
issue anymore.
Jbird had the Black Ops 1 loading screen on there too, where like you're sitting in the chair. You could see the TVs in the background. You can actually see not Leviathan, the Swan on one of the screens. It was pretty cool.
Well, I mean, that was a still image. Black Ops 1
you
had,
still
map.
admit it pretty good.
yeah. I mean, I just screenshot a Black Ops 1.
Hi, did you say
I'm-
Red Space is the one you talked to about it?
About the gravity, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't he the guy that made Project Viking?
Yep,
Yep.
that's him.
Funny story. I named that map.
Really?
Really?
I named it because he wanted a loading screen for it, and he was like, he still didn't have a name. I was like, can I just put a name? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, Project Viking, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna use that. He didn't have a name, so
Never heard that story.
had a name for it.
exclusive information. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
I named something. I'm actually useful once in a while. You can ask them. Like, I'll have a good idea once in a while.
So, anything else you want to discuss?
I am working on aquarium right now, and Jaybird's working on the laboratories.
And I'm working on.
Brady's working on labs. I'm
Yeah.
working underneath cafeteria.
Yeah, there you go. And Pie's working on something super secret.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thanks for everyone who came on. This was a wonderful podcast. I definitely enjoyed it. You guys
Me
have
too.
been wonderful guests. Great stories.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, it's been nice talking to you guys.
Usually we suck.
Yeah.
We love ranting about our work and just
Yeah.
talking
And
about
usually
Ranting's good.
all we talk about is anime.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never talk about anime with you.
Oh
Joe.
yeah, we have to explain it to Pie Man.
Yeah.
It just all goes over my head.
Well, I'll let you guys go back to your hentai, and I'll edit and I'll end the podcast. So this has been episode 14 with the Leviathan cunts, and thanks for watching.